What is up, Life Fam? Welcome to another video. My name is David, your spiritual awakening coach, here to help you through your spiritual awakening. A question that I am asked almost daily is how to permanently raise your vibe. So this is definitely something, if you've experienced the spiritual euphorias after having had a spiritual awakening, that spiritual high a lot of times is something that we're always chasing after we first have our spiritual awakening. So today we're going to be discussing how to permanently raise your vibe so you can stay in a high vibration and live life to the fullest right now. Let's go. How to permanently raise your vibe. So when we're saying permanently raise your vibe, what I'm talking about is your default frequency, something I like to call your home vibe or your core frequency. Understand you are going to have fluctuations when life comes at you. You're not always going to be on that spiritual high, that euphoric high. You know, we came from euphoria. We came from bliss. We're here to experience the contrast. We're here to experience it all. So your core vibe, however, can be raised in a few different ways and can be kept there permanently. So one of the best ways to do this is to look at what you consider to be low vibe from a place of accepting and allowing. You don't want to deny any aspect of you. What you resist persists. When you are denying an aspect of yourself, you're just solidifying those roots that's anchoring that lower vibe, that's keeping your default vibe from rising. Now, when you are looking at what you consider to be low vibe from a place of allowing and acceptance, you want to apply love to it, whatever apply love to you means. And then you want to see, where is that emotion or that trauma or that low vibe in alignment with fear. Try to find the root fear that's rooting down that low vibe, and then ask if that fear is true. Once you start debunking the fear, those roots of that low vibe begin to relax a little bit, and that low vibe becomes a higher vibe, which in turn raises your default vibe. This is how you permanently raise your default vibe. Of course, you're still going to have those fluctuations, but your default vibe or your home vibe is higher. How to permanently raise your vibe. Subscribe to Lightways. That will permanently raise your vibe. Just kidding, guys. Well, not really, but anyway. How to permanently raise your vibe. Do not look at low vibe as not spiritual. Don't draw a line in the sand and say low vibe is not spiritual, but this over here is spiritual. Why is this? Because spirit, source, is all things. Source is also low vibe. Source is just experiencing life from this lower vibrational perspective to get a better understanding of its higher or dominant frequency. Okay, so source is constantly evolving and source is constantly all vibes. So don't identify something as not spiritual, because spirit is everything. How to permanently raise your vibe. Change your story. You guys have heard me say that the universe is always going to mirror back to you your story. What is your story? It's your BS. It's your belief system. It's who you believe yourself to be. This means change your identity to high vibe. When you identify as high vibe, it's no longer the mindset where you feel you need to go out and grab high vibe from some other place. You identify as high vibe, and that intention will raise your vibration, and then you just effortlessly share the same space with a like vibration. Your universe is going to mirror back to you your subconscious belief. And then when anything shares your space that you consider to be low vibe, you accept it from a loving place and ask, where are you in alignment with fear? And is that fear valid? And then that allows that lower frequency to raise into your more higher dominant frequency. So in other words, change your story, change your vibe. So you want to raise the vibe of who you believe you are. And you want to get very clear on who that new high vibrational you is. Write it down in black and white. Let the brain see it in black and white. A lot of times the power of writing allows the brain to kind of stamp it as a thing, stamp it as done. Okay, this is what my greater version, my higher frequency self would say, do, be. How would your higher vibrational self be flowing through life? And when you write that out and it becomes a thing to the mind, it's much easier to stay in alignment with that. And then when you get out of alignment with that, it's much easier to self-correct. And this is how you permanently raise your vibe. Now, if you need a helping hand raising your vibe, we can work together one-on-one through Zoom. Check the description below for that. But first, we're going to do quote of the day, and then we will do question of the day. Here is today's high vibrational quote. Now, question of the day. How do you permanently raise your vibe? Let us know in the comments below, Light Fam, so that we can all learn from one another. I will see all of my beautiful Light family in the next video. Light, love, and abundance to all that are watching and to all you love. Peace, guys.